So, hey guys, today we're going to start building this application. Okay, today is I think is Wednesday 6, so I might release something tomorrow just for you to have something on the channel. Okay, if everything goes right. I recorded this, but I forgot I had some bindings on with a new font on VS, and well, it wasn't really good for beginners because the bindings abstracted some behavior in the syntax, or some syntax was too abstract. So I decided to record this again, and let me show you. So we have this little menu, just to show you how to build this and where you can find the code for this. Okay, this is pretty simple. You can check the post, and you can edit. For example, you can see that this is the title and this is the description or content or whatever. So let's say a new title, and we can choose a file. So let me just move this. So I choose a file because I have a ton of crap, and really a ton of crap that I need to clean, and I haven't done that. So we can change this, and let's say let's open the DevTools, okay, and update post. And this is going to take a bit for that image to upload into Firebase. Okay, we're going to use Firebase to store the information. So this is going to be beyond the basics, we could say. So we're going to delete the previous image, and we're going to load the new image, okay, the new content and all that. And we can also edit without having to set a new image, okay. And every time I click this, we are enable or disable edit mode, okay. This is being injected using JavaScript, so it's not an HTML tag per se, okay. It's just injected. Now we can go back using this, or we can click and let's say new post. We can create a new test post something, okay. Let me move this again. Every time I choose a file, I will do the same because I don't want this to be shown, and I want this. Okay, let's go back, and if we click submit, as I said in the preview, I think you will need to add some things. I will leave some things undone, okay, for you to add. For example, this, you will need to make this better. Maybe remove this, or as you can see, this button is disabled, okay. I cannot send again the post, so this is actually good in case someone misclicks and sends another request, okay. So you cannot do any other action with this until this ends, and we're going to be redirected. So as you saw in the other one, when we updated that, you will need to add this, and you saw we have the progress bar, and you will need to add the actual percentage that, let me see if it stored that. No, it doesn't because it changes. Okay, oh, I added the same. So you can see it's different. It's the same image, but it's stored differently. So let's wait, okay, it takes a little bit. So we can delete. Here on the delete, you will need to add a confirm, maybe an alert. Okay, we have something. Okay, because it used. Okay, this is actually a problem. I didn't see that. Okay, it used the same image and it deleted the same image. So we can do something about this. So let me just edit and choose another one. Okay, so of course there are some things that you might need to do. but, and let's say update post. Okay, let's say F12, and this is being added. You will need to add the progress here and the numbers. Okay, so this is already fixed because we can update the image without changing anything else. So that's working, and you can check if the to rename the image and anything like that. Okay, so you will see how it's done. So I think it's enough talk, and let's start. So I'm going to move this to my other screen. So right now we're just going to create the let's call it HTML Firebase tut. Okay, we're just going to create the structure. So let me just do this. Okay, so we're going to need a new folder called functions. Okay, you can leave this one and create your functions in your root directory, but I'm just going to do it like that. Now we need to add some other files. Let's add the index.html. I'm using also VS Code, as you can see, and I'm using the live server that is an extension of VS Code, and also we're going to use Emmet, and I will show you that in a second. So let's get the index.html. We're going to need another one that is the post.html, and if you cannot see your extensions, okay, in Windows, come back here to view and check these file name extensions, and it's going to show you that. Okay, so in case you don't have that, so let me go and create a new one. This is the last one. Okay, it's going to be create.html, and yes, now we need another folder that is going to be the public folder, and inside that we're going to add our main CSS, main.css, and inside functions we're going to add a new file that is going to be main.js, and we have our structure ready. So let's set up a new Firebase. I have this still running, so let's close this. Okay, we can add a database to our application without using a server. Okay, so we can think of this as a serverless application, because we're not going to handle or we are not going to send a request to a server in order to place information inside our database. Okay, we are going to use Firebase. So let's go to console, and you will need a new Google account or an existing Google account that you have, a Gmail account, okay, in order to access this. Okay, so let's create a new project, and we are going to call it HTML Firebase Firebase tut. Okay, let's continue. Let's analytics. No, we don't want analytics. Create project, and let's wait for this to finish. Meanwhile, let's add some. Okay, let me show you. Let's open this. This is our application. So let's open this one in code, and let me show you the extensions. So these ones are the ones that I have enabled. So we're going to use Emmet, okay, just to speed up things a little bit. Okay, not too much, so don't worry too much about it. And where the hell is the other one? Okay, live server. Okay, we're going to use this one, and I will show you well, I will show you later about the font that I'm using that has binding. So let's file, preferences, settings, I think it was, text editor, font. I'm using Cascadia and the ligatures. Okay, I have those enabled, and they abstract some things for people that already know how to code. So they are the ligatures abstract some things, creating symbols. So that's why right now I have it disabled, because I will show you later what it does, and I think it's better for beginners to have it disabled, because of course you are not seeing what I'm typing and you will get confused. Okay, so this is already done. Let's click here. The button is kind of cut there. I don't know what they did. So we have that, and let's leave that open and minimize it, move it to your screen or whatever. And we're going to do the index HTML. So let's say HTML, and using emmet, we're going to click this HTML5, and we have our basic HTML5 skeleton. So let's say Firebase app, and we're going to add some things here so we can display this using the server that we, after we install the live server extension. Okay, this one, we have down here a button that says go live, and this is what we are going to use in order to display our HTML inside the browser. So let me just check. Okay, we're going to start doing some things right now. So let's say span. I'm going to create all this by hand. We're going to give it an ID, open nav, that this is going to be what adds some classes to our navigation that allow us to have that sign up behavior. So I'm going to do ampersand hash pound 9776, and we end up with a semicolon. This is an entity, and if you want to learn more about those, let me go back and let's say HTML5 HTML entities. Let's go to W3 schools. I heard some people bashing W3 schools. I don't know why. They are part of the web, of the World Wide Web. So I don't know why people are bashing about this. So this is a great place to start. Okay, you can see we have the entity names and some numbers. Okay, that this is also how you can access these symbols. Okay, and also there's these symbols that you can use. Of course, right now you can use font awesome and all that, but for this example we're going to use this kind of entities, okay, that allow us to use symbols. And this is let's say let's talk a little bit about semantics. So this is kind of semantical. Okay, this is better for the browser, but right now okay, it was in a point some years before. Okay, this was kind of the standard of how to show symbols, but right now we can use SVGs and all that. We have support for a ton of things, so it was a standard before. Right now we can use other things. So for this example, let's just have it like that and create our navigation that, well, I was going to give it an ID, but I don't think it's needed. So let's say class sign nav, just like that, and inside this we're going to create a UL. Okay, if you don't know what this nav is, it's the main navigation. Okay, this is going to tell the browser that this is our main navigation. That's why you shouldn't use a div for your main navigation. So let's say list, this is semantical, so we're going to try to make some things semantically correct. Okay, some other things no, because for example in the forms, since we're going to inject the forms manually, I mean dynamically using JavaScript, then we're just going to skip, for example, the labels, that the labels are semantically correct. We need to add labels if we want our HTML to be semantical. So we're going to skip those just for the sake of simplicity and not creating another element. So you will see why I'm not doing that. So we create a UL, an order list, and inside that we create some list items. And before this, let's add an anchor with an edge reference of this hash pound. Okay, let's say class close button, that is what is going to close that button, I mean that navigation, and close nav. Okay, so this is the ID that we're going to use. Now it's going to use times, ampersand times, and this. Okay, so it's going to add, let me show you. Okay, I don't have that open. Let's go live. Starting, and Control Shift T to reopen that. It says electron here because this was for electron, so let's hit F5, Control F5. So what the, okay, because I have the other one disposed, still not disposed. So okay, let me just, okay, now right now this one is on 5501, but yours is going to be on 550. So if I do this, we can see that, and this is the symbol that we're using. But let's dispose this. Okay, click here again, and let's go live again. In my case, it still opens on, well, that's not good. Okay, let's keep it like that. Yours is going to be on 5500, okay? Because I had another open, I forgot to close that, the other application that I showed you, the finished one. So yeah, that's the problem, but you should be fine, so don't worry too much. You just need to check what the port is. It says here port 5501, and just say localhost. Let me say HTTP localhost, okay, colon 5501, and we are in the same page. Okay, so that's how you are going to access that. So here we add another one, another anchor, and no, we are not going to give this a hash pound. We're going to give this the create.html. This is how we're going to move from page to page, creating a new link. Okay, and it's going to send us to this create. So you will see that in a second. Let's add, or let's say new post. Right now we are not going to worry too much about the CSS. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Yes, for the nav, let's say header. Okay, the header tells what's the main header of this application, so it's going to use some hierarchical behavior, and this is going to be taken as the main header. If you see this in I can't remember the name of the software that you can see, there's an extension for Chrome to check how pages are working in a semantical way. So this is for that. So let's say Firebase up, just like that, and let's say main is the main content. It even says, okay, the main element represents the main content, and maybe header element represents introductory content for this nearest okay, for this section. So this one is globally for this page, okay, and each section or article or whatever can have its own header. So it's going to take the header for that section. Okay, So id main, and here we're going to add a div, and this div is going to have an ID of posts. So this is where we're going to place our posts, and we're going to do something. Let's do it right now. So let's close this one, and we actually need to create a new application here. So to register, sorry, an application. So let's say my Firebase HTML app, something like that. Okay, you can add whatever you want. So let's register. We're not going to use this. Okay, and you will get this object. So first of all, let's copy this, and is this one, paste it here. Okay, this is what is going to allow us to connect to the Firebase instance, and we need this. Okay, so let's copy this and let's go to main.js, and we are going to add a new constant that is config equals to this object, and we are going to paste inside what we copied. Okay, so let's save that, and let's save this. Do they say okay, maybe say Firebase Firestore. Let's see if they add the script. They should add the script. I'm just checking. If not, I'm just going to, okay. So let's not worry about that. Now we need to do something here. Firebase that initialize app. So we can use this Firebase, although we don't have that defined because we have in the index this script. Okay. So let's say config, I cannot type, okay. And we are going to actually set up Firebase right now. So we're going to do something. Let's come back here, copy this, okay, paste it below, and let's remove this app. And what we're going to do is add a Firestore. So that should work. Now let's go back to our main.js and create this constant Firestore equals to Firebase, that we already have that Firestore. So this is a method of this Firebase class, and we should be fine. Everything should be fine with this. Okay, let's refresh this, and don't worry too much about this. That's just a warning. We don't need to pass the settings. Okay, so we're going to use these versions. That today we are on, as I said, November 6, 2019. So I try to make every tutorial up to date, okay, with the latest things, at least to give a window of 2-3 months, okay, on which you can actually continue with this tutorial and check it and do it yourself or yourselves. So yeah, I will try to keep everything up to date with the latest things. So let's close this one. Okay, now let's open that. Control Shift T to reopen that. Let's go to the console again, and let's go to, because we have something missing, that is to create the Firebase, the Firestore instance. Let's go to HTML Firebase tut. Okay, so this is the application we have. Let's go to database, click database, we are going to create a new database with test mode. Next. Okay, add your location. That one is fine. So let's say ready. And okay, it's working. So let's wait for that. And after that, we're going to set the storage. Okay, so we can upload images just before finishing this video. So if I go here, you can see we have this Firebase app and everything is working. So if I click a new post, it's going to take me to create HTML, but currently create HTML is empty and we are going to work with that on the next video. Okay, if I go back, it's going to take me to the index HTML. Yeah. Yeah, because it's checking this and it has nothing, it's a blank file. So let's wait for this, it's already done. Okay. So the rules, anyone on? Okay, yeah, because we have test mode. Okay, so let's go to storage and start. Yep, and ready. It's going to use the same location, so I don't know why it prompts that. Maybe I didn't give that enough time. So, okay, we need to go to rules and to allow the test mode, kinda, let's remove this, okay, and let's say publish and just keep allow read write and don't forget the semicolon. So that is done. We are not going to use authentication, okay, maybe later. So I think that's it. Okay, let's first add something more before finishing this, okay. That is okay, because I wasn't seeing that, so let's say a script. I forgot to actually add it. We're going to add our functions and our main.js, okay, below these two. So if we refresh, okay, it's just the same. So right now this is connected to our application, okay, to our HTML. Currently it's only on the index, but we're going to add that to the create and post, okay. And I forgot to add the CSS. So let me go back here to the top. Let's say link relationship rel style sheet, if I type this correctly. Okay, let's close this, and it's going to be an href, and this one is on public and main.css. So I'm going, I shouldn't be going up one folder up. This should be only public main CSS, and let's save this. And let's add also type text CSS. Okay, this was needed before, but right now the browser just checks the relationship and it's going to match the type to text CSS. So, okay, and in order to see if that works, let's go to main CSS and add something. So body background red, and let's see. Okay, I added two semicolons there. So as you can see, we have this bright red color, so it means it's reading this. So let's change this to maybe something more calm, this kind of light gray. Okay, you can, if you are using VS Code, you can hover this, okay, place your mouse on top of this and maybe add some different color. You can do whatever you want, okay. This is your application, so play a little bit with that and maybe just set it like that, you know, this kind of bluish. Maybe it's too bright, I don't like to play with this because I often try to. Okay, that looks kind of better. So let's keep that. I'm going to do some different things from the code that I have, okay, to maybe just show you some different aspects of what you can do. So let's see the time. We are 30 minutes. Okay, that I think is pretty nice, pretty fair for us to have this. So on the next video, we're going to add the form, the create HTML, and to start uploading. So in the second video, we should be already uploading information to our database.